Hi ma'am, my name is Kirtan Kumar and I will be explaining you the code of numerical integration by Simpson's 3 by 8 rule. Here f is the function of x and it is defined by 1 by 1 plus x, and x0 and xn are the lower and upper limit of the integration which we perform. N is nothing but the number of subintervals and it should be a multiple of 3 for this 3 by 8 rule. And h is given by this formula where xn is the upper limit of the integration, x0 is the lower limit of the integration, and n is the number of subintervals. As said earlier that n should be the multiple of 3. This condition checks whether the n is multiple of 3 or not. If not, then this gives another attempt for the user to enter the number n, which is a multiple of 3. Here, k is a variable which varies from 1 to n minus 1 with an increment of 1 for every iteration. And here, s is a variable which stores the function inside which the argument is varying from x1 to xn for every value of k varying from 1 to n minus 1. During the first iteration for k, the value inside this function's argument will be equal to x1. Then this becomes f of x1, which is nothing but y1 as we mentioned earlier in the formula. Similarly, for the last iteration of k, the value of s becomes f of xn as this argument becomes xn, which is nothing but yn. I is a variable which stores the value from 3 to n minus 1 with an increment of 3 for every iteration. Sum3 is a variable which stores the sum of the function s. Function s is varying from y1 to yn, and this will take into consideration only the function which has the iteration multiple of 3 like y3, y6, y9, etc. And this s of I stores the other iteration like y1, y2, y4, y5 which are not the multiple of 3, and the some other variable stores the sum of s, that is nothing but the iteration which are not the multiple of 3 like y1, y2, y4, y5. And this output is a variable which is designed according to the formula to give the value output. If you run the program, it asks us the lower limit of the integration. Let us enter 0. Next it asks the upper limit. Let us enter 1. And now it is asking the number of subinterval. Let us enter 6. We'll get the answer as 0.693. We can compare the values which we got here and the manually solved problem. If we compare, we get the same answer as 0.693. Now we will see another example by changing the function to square root of cos x. Now if we run the program, same code implies for this also. Now we'll give the value of x0 as 0 and xn value as pi by 2, that is nothing but 3.142 by 2. And the intervals will keep as 6. The answer is 1.1849. We can manually compare this with the solved example also. This is the example here we solved by the Simpson's 1/3 rule, as the 6 is a multiple of both 2 and 3. It can also be solved by Simpson's 3 by 8 rule. Here we get the answer as 1.187, which is similar to what we get from MATLAB. Thank you, ma'am. Now my friend will be continuing.